What's up, guys? This is JTQ9 of SSx1, and welcome back to the channel. Season 45, war number 9 and 10. So I decided to put these two together because, as if you saw my last video, I had a little bit of a run over the last 3-4 wars where I've exerted a ton of loyalty on potions, but not only that, but also on boosts as well. Like I mentioned last video, I'd used 10 potions for 200,000 loyalty, and that didn't count all like the invul boost and the regen boost and the power backs and all of that stuff. So sensing my frustration in some of the chats, DLL and officers decided to give me an easier war against NEFTI. So initially I only had one fight to take, but they ended up calling an audible, and then I ended up coming in and helping out and taking this Hulkling. So so all in all, for this one here, I have a very, very short war, which was nice. It was nice to kind of regroup because I'd been getting frustrated with a little bit of my gameplay with the Spider-Gwen over the last number of wars. So hopefully we're able to clean that up a little bit kind of moving forward here. But so all that to say, I've got this Hulkling fight that brought Absorbing Man into to help, when his Indestructible comes up. Abs Man basically gets rid of it right away, so it makes it just for an easier fight. So anyways, fast forwarded through that one a little bit, as well as this Korg fight, as there's really not much to it. I mean, Apocalypse I use a lot. I use him in AQ typically for a lot of the lanes. Very comfortable with him, an older champ obviously, done a lot of content with him. And with Korg, knowing I didn't have a fight after this either, didn't really care about taking chip damage or anything like that, or Thorns damage coming back if there was ever any, but Apocalypse a lot of the time closes a lot of that stuff down. So the idea was to just make sure that I kept the debuffs up on him, get the SP1 in, then push to the SP2 to do bigger damage, and kind of just watch him melt away after that. Relatively quick fight, but never felt like I was ever going to be in trouble here. So again, just refreshing my boost there. In a normal environment, I would typically probably push to an SP3 in this case, just to lock everything in case. But knowing that we still need to go for speed, I figured, let's throw the SP2 and try to get him down as quick as possible. So obviously I was hoping that was going to kill him. It didn't, but a couple more hits after that and he should go down relatively easy. So still not down. Come on, let's go. There we go. Man, the guy just didn't want to die. I would hope, sometimes you hope the assassin kicks in a little bit there. So anyways, against NEFTI, again, very short war, but unfortunately we ended up losing this one 4-3. That one kind of stung because it may have implications later on. That brings us to kind of 6-3 on the season. But now we're up against our good friends at LVT. So this one for me, I was feeling revigorated. I was feeling great. I had taken and... I died of Morbius? I feel like I died to a Morbius. Yeah, I think I died to a Morbius this season. So got very familiar with how his mechanics work now and not concerned at all. So this one here, I believe, was the intercept node. So once his kind of his fangs, I don't want to say fangs, what's it called? His the Psionic Glide, that's it. So once the Psionic Glide kind of goes into cooldown there after I evade out of the way, it makes it easier for me to intercept at that point. But I elected to not do it and make it even more complicated on myself. But, jeez. It's not fun watching these videos back for the first time. You get to see like, wow, I know I can be better than this, and yet you see all these kind of little small mistakes, I guess, to help clean things up for next time. But anyways, in that case, I got him on the cooldown. I was able to get the actual intercept and then 2 SP2s with the power backs, and he was dead. So that was very good. I was very happy so far as the way it goes, because I'm going into the second fight now with Sassy, having not had to heal anything, which was, for me, the big victory. Because against Sasquatch, I've taken him a lot of times, a lot of different nodes. For me, this particular node was probably a little bit easier than what I'm used to dealing with. Usually I have to deal with him on the one where I have to knock him down to remove protection, but then he's debuff immune, so I can't keep the withers and the slow up. But here, once kind of I get that intercept, I can then spam the SP2, although it doesn't give me back a ton of power, but at least I'm able to do more damage. Like, I'm already what, 45 seconds in, I'm 40% off, which is more than what I usually do in these fights. Usually it takes a lot longer, especially considering it's an R3. Oakley's R3 Sasquatch. Yeah, I believe it's an R3. I should probably check that, but pretty sure at the 88, his HP bar and kind of his rating there, that he's up that high. So, sorry, Oakley. Fortunately, this placement for me, after all the fights I've been kind of doing this season, is a lot easier. Still tricky though. I can't take a hit, because if I do take a hit or take an SP1 while he's got his Wrath up, it could be trouble. But for the most part, like there, because now we get the ruptures on us, and maybe I spoke too soon. But again, not doing a ton of damage with the protection up. I need him to throw some specials, get the slow up so I don't have to worry about him going unstoppable on me, trying to kind of do a combo backdraft and get the intercept, and then throw a couple SP2s and hopefully does enough damage to take him out before his massive regen kind of kicks in. Oh no, we're still not there yet. Man, I am really mistiming my Qs on some of these fights today, so I'm really sorry about that. But yeah, spamming the SP1, get kind of a couple final hits, but oh my gosh, really? It's just that those moments. Do you guys find that when you get to like right near the end of the fight, you know he's like in assassin mode and that you're like going in for the final kill, and then you just take that 1 or 2 or 3 hits that cost you that extra 1 or 2 potions. In this case, what, that'll be 20% of my health. Just, I find that extremely, extremely frustrating, especially coming off some wars where I'm already spending a lot on potions. So anyways, I digress. He's down. I'm happy he's down, and we move on to the next one. So this next fight here, I've got Chavez. So this is typically a placement where I would have taken the Sasquatch. So this is the one where, kind of a tricky fight, to be honest, where I have to knock her down to remove protection. But if I do that, then the withers and the slow drop. So my strategy for this node is kind of the same as what I do for the Sasquatch. Is hopefully she doesn't throw, a random heavy, which, she tends to do very annoyingly. But was to, anytime I got close to an SP2, I would try to knock the protection down and then try to land like a big SP2 like that. Get some power backs and then kind of do it again. I never wanted to send her to her SP2, especially since the build's kind of prowess as it goes, and that I have to kind of hit her kind of frequently. But also with Mystic Dispersion, you just gotta be careful. It could be a tricky fight. So my goal, I think I just mistimed that. I thought I was closer to an SP2, but unfortunately it did not happen. So once the protection gets up, I'm gonna again try to get close to my SP2. Again, there's the random heavy from across the thing that puts her in negative zone. So now she's gonna throw a special and come back basically with a full bar of power, which is very frustrating. So now I have to bait out another special, try to go for the counter to get the protection down. And then, well, there's the heavy, but I didn't care. So then I went for the SP2 to try to do big damage. Didn't do enough damage, unfortunately. So a lot of this fight, although I felt very, very, very much in control compared to sometimes when you're playing, like I said, Sasquatch here, where he's got, a million health pool and his health is just not going down very fast. It's a little frustrating, but there I decided to go kind of kamikaze and just YOLO it and knock her down. Unfortunately, that happened. So far in 3 fights, feeling really good. Haven't taken too much damage. The withers and stuff allowed me to kind of heal up from any kind of debuffs that were on me. And then this one here, this Nick Fury fight, taking him, the last 3, 4, 5 wars, 6 wars, 8 wars, it seems like forever. This one here was probably one of the cleanest ones I've done. So my strategy here is usually to build to the SP1 before he even gets to his SP1 first. So by doing that, you have to parry a couple times. Obviously do, I think it's 1 or 2 5-hit combos. And then just be careful that you don't get into that kind of sweet spot where he throws that SP1 and when he's unblockable. That's the only real kind of tricky part about this fight. But because I've been building up to my, anyway, I got basically the perfect penny cycle, and I've had the SP1, I've got 13 charges. I'm going to bait for him to throw that SP2. I'm going to push past to get that extra charge, which does that extra little bit of damage. Yes, he will throw an SP1. No, he won't here, actually. I just end up backing up while he's unblockable, and he went down like nothing this time. So that's Nick Fury. Sometimes very frustrating. More often than not, when I have Penny in my hands using him, he goes down just like that. So this war here against our good friends at LVT, congratulations, 2v2. It's a hell of a war. You guys took us on time. Obviously not happy about that overall, but how can you stay mad at friends, right? So we've got a lot of good people we know over there. So thank you all for tuning in. That moves me to 45 kills, 2 deaths on the season, and now we are at a 6-4 record after both those losses in this video. So fortunately, you know, we still have somewhere to go before we can try to clinch Masters, maybe potentially top 10, but we'll see what happens. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next one. Take care.